think I recall you saying, there's no way I'm gonna stall it. Yes! Every time! Okay guys, finally came in. We ordered this thing back in October and it's now January. Finally just came in at the dealer, so we went and picked it up a few days ago. Already started to put some goodies on it. This here is my son's 23 YFZ450R Special Edition. Show a couple good shots here. So this one comes with the orange frame, the gray plastics. You can I don't know if it shows up on camera, but the gray plastics actually have like a metal flake, metal speck inside. Looks pretty cool. You can see it up there on the tank. So yeah, like I said, we already put some goodies on here. You'll see there's a video of me and my son putting these on, which, although putting a rear grab bar on you may think would be simple, it took some time. So that's the Hauser 3-inch drop grab bar. You can see there, it's angled down quite a bit, so it makes it easier to pick this thing up since it doesn't have reverse. There's 2 bolts there on the right, 2 bolts there on the left. And then underneath the seat, I'm not going to pull it out, but there's just 2 bolts down there that hold the top part of the grab bar in there. So it comes with these brackets here, which mount over to the rear fenders. Normally they're clips, but because we added this grab bar, they switch it over to bolts. And the bolts don't come with it. I really don't understand. It's literally like $150 rear grab bar, and they can't include 2 10-cent bolts in the kit, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, really nice grab bar, but come on guys. The other thing is it's quite a bit thicker than the stock grab bar. So the bolts, they don't come with new bolts either. So the stock bolts, you know, you're adding that bracket, all of that in there, and the stock bolts aren't long enough. So I tried to use the stock bolts, and there's only about 1/8 of an inch that sticks into the threads to tighten that whole grab bar force down there. So we needed new bolts. So you already had to get 2 bolts here because they're not included. And then these 2 bolts here and these 2 bolts here are not long enough at all, period. I don't know how, if anybody's ever bought this grab bar, they had to go buy bolts. There's no way that you could have put it on. So I had to take the bolt, go to Home Depot, and we got, see if we could show it up here. So that is a M8 by 1.25 thread, 30 millimeter long. Could have went with 25 millimeter long, but you know, it goes all the way through there and it can keep going. It doesn't bottom out. There's nothing that it runs into, so there's no disadvantage to having the longer bolt go through there for all that clamping power. So I had to get 4 new bolts to bolt it on and 2 bolts for the fenders, and this thing's sturdy. So yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Comes with the license plate mounts and a whip mount, and yeah, just looks pretty sharp. So definitely well made, really good idea. There's so much suspension travel in the back of this thing that you almost need a drop grab bar, because by the time you pick it up, I mean, it goes up far before you actually get to move this thing. You know, and the tail light here is close, but it all worked out perfect. Really nice welds. Yeah, everything's great, but come on, guys, give us a couple bolts. I think we paid over 150 bucks for this thing. 2, 4, 6 bolts, and if you bought them in bulk, you know, chump change. So get on the ball with that. But other than that, really nice grab bar.
Yeah, you can do that.
We just slipped it out, so we don't have to put the pipe on
Dang it.
today.
Maybe after dinner, say again, we ought to.
next thing we're going to go over here is these GYTR Genuine Yamaha Technology Racing. I think is that what that stands for? Correct me if I'm wrong, but man, do they look sweet. So all aluminum, they came not painted. We took them to a local powder coating place and got them powder coated gloss black. They come with these brackets here, that bracket. So 3 back brackets each and 3 bolts each. That's what hold them on to the A-arms. We got those powder coated also. Really nice. And they add a lot of protection to the bottom of the A-arms. So yeah, it took about 10 minutes to put on. Not that bad at all. Also put on the DRW Performance poly skid plate. So I don't know if it shows up on the camera there, but that thing is 1/2 inch thick of poly plastic. It is literally harder than Superman's head, I swear, because I'll show you in a minute. It actually ruined my sander when we had to make some adjustments, but way beefier than the stock skid plate, and man, does it add some coverage there. There'll be plenty of pictures here when me and my son put it on already that show it stood up and with the old one off and everything, but here. Man, does that look sweet. Get some views from the back. Now you can see. Nice and beefy, covers everything. Really great quality. We actually had some DRW stuff on the 400 rotor skid plate and some other things, and it was really nice. So nice cutout there. Everything covers the A-arm pockets on the bottom. So there was 4 bolts that actually go into the bottom of the frame back under the motor. And then up front here, there's 2 bolts that hold it on. And it actually pulls a little pocket out of the front of the frame. And this block slides in with those 2 bolts in. So then it actually bolts down onto the skid plate here. And I get it, I mean, you're making a bunch of these across the country to fit on somebody else's bike. and expect it all to line up. But you had to take this bumper off here to be able to put that block in there. So then when you go to put the bumper back on, the rolls in the tube actually ran into the block to bolt it on, so we couldn't put the front bumper back on. And you know, we were trying to put them bolts in and it just wasn't working out. So I had to actually try and shave down some of this block here, and I took a orbital sander with 100 grit sandpaper, and just that little adjustment there, I don't know if you can see it, but I mean, it barely took the corners off the top to get it to bolt on. And I went through like 6 discs of sandpaper, and it actually ruined the backing on my sander as well. So definitely ridiculously hard material. Shout out to them, awesome job on the skid plate. Just maybe in the future shave that block down, you know, maybe if you could make the block a tiny bit further back, that'd be great. But other than that, super nice